My name is Lucas Barfield. This is the first CV19 report. Today is March 20th, 2020. In this show, we're going to be looking at COVID-19 news and information. I'm going to be covering news starting in our local area of Tacoma, and then we're going to look at the state, and then we'll look at the nation, and then we'll look at the world. I'll be giving out information that you may need for all types of things. And we're going to start here in Tacoma, so let's get started. So one piece of information that we are told to get out quickly is that some new studies have came out, and that people under 40, 12% of those diagnosed with COVID-19 are going to ICU, and 20% are having to be admitted to the hospital. Now, I don't have any numbers as far as death rate, but wanted to get that information out there, that the information about that this is not affecting young people is not true. So we want to make sure that we have the update information on that. So I wanted to put that out there first. So Tacoma has declared an emergency. So you can find info on the City of Tacoma's declared emergency at cityoftacoma.org. All city buildings have shut down, including the things like the Star Center and the Eastside Community Center, and the other community centers around town have shut down. Libraries are shut down. The municipal building at 747 Market Street is shut down. All city help desks and things like that are closed. The emergency and solid waste are still going, so if you have an emergency, you still can call 911, and you can still put your garbage out by the road to get picked up. The city, under this disaster declaration, has stopped all shutoffs for city utilities, this including power, water, and other utilities, so don't worry about that at this time. They will be having assistance programs to help people pay their bills later, because so many people are out of work. You want to find information about this, you can go to you can call 253-502-8600. That's 253-502-8600. That will help you set up payment plans for utilities. The city is also assessing if there's additional protections needed for renters and mortgage holders. City of Seattle has passed some protections like that, so that should be coming to Tacoma, hopefully. Businesses in Tacoma who are needing assistance should look at makeittacoma.com. For kids out there, there are 10 middle schools around the city that are going to be serving food, so breakfast and lunches are served at 10 middle schools around town. They have security and health workers there and custodians. The time to get that is 10-2. The Health Department of Tacoma is another place you can get information. They're keeping an update on this, and they have a special webpage that you can go to. You can find that at tpchd.org. tpchd.org. That's where you can find the Tacoma Public Health Department, and they will be giving you information about the COVID-19 virus over there at their website. So there is also a state number that you can call to get more information about the CV19 virus. So that's 800-525-0127. That's 800-525-0127 for a state number, and they can tell you all about the infection rates, how many people have been infected. You want to find this information out on the news, but if you have a specific question about something going on in your house, whether you should be quarantined, how to be quarantined, social distancing questions, anything like that, you can call that phone number. So the last numbers I heard in Washington State, there was over 1,200 people infected in the state and over 75 deaths. The first death in Pierce County was reported in Puyallup a couple days ago on March 18th. The governor of Washington is not discussing shelter in place yet, although it has been recommended by other people. He is offering up help for residents and businesses, so we'll be knowing more about that soon. He did say there are going to be no evictions in the state, but there has been no statewide guidance as far as people who hold mortgages. If you want to look at the state website for COVID-19 information, you can go to doh.wa.gov, or you can call 866-211 9966. That is, again, 866-211-9966 for some state information at the DOH. They want to remind you that social distancing is important. That is staying at least 6 feet away from people, especially people outside of your home if you are sheltering in place. That is because they don't know what the incubation period is. That means they don't know how long it stays in your system before you start seeing symptoms. So be real careful about getting close to people. They actually have 2 cases in Western State Hospital right now. There has been talk about letting people out of the jails and the detention center because these are right places for places like viruses like this to spread. They are also offering up unemployment insurance for people that have been laid off for this, and then they're going to be expanding that to people that won't regularly qualify for unemployment insurance. They are expanding that, and so stay tuned. I'll get more information about that for our next episode. So if we go out from locally and we kind of spread out to the nation, I hear I'm going to just try to stick to the headlines. So our President Trump is trying to be optimistic. They have signed one economic relief bill, and they're looking. Actually, I think they've signed 2 now, and they're looking at a third one. That is going to look like something like a universal basic income where you'll get some kind of payment. I don't want to speculate on the numbers because they keep changing, but it'll be over $1,000. If you make under $75,000, you get a certain amount, and I think they're going to cap it off at $100,000. Lenders are helping, so if you have a mortgage, it's important to contact them if you can't pay. Again, I have heard that there are states out there and banks that are saying don't have to pay your mortgages that will work with you on this, but that is not nationwide yet. If you need to do something with your bank, please contact them. That's all the advice I'm hearing is work with your lenders and that they will help you. The governor of California has asked people to shelter in place. They're saying this is going to be going on for the next 8 weeks. The numbers are going to be really high. They have changed a lot in the past couple of days. So the last one I heard is at least it's really high. I'm not going to repeat the numbers because they just keep changing and changing, but millions of Californians are going to be affected by this, which means millions of Washingtonians are going to be affected by it too. One of the things we wanted to remind you is that I saw in the news is don't forget to do the census. You probably got a census thing that came in the mail. This is something that will help us procure money for our state. So if you did get a census in the mail, don't forget to do that. I have a feeling that they won't be sending around census workers to do the census. So just do the one you found in your mailbox and send it back. So if we look at the world, what's going on in the world on this, and this is going to be a short part because there's so much going on. I could cover this on and on and on. But one of the most recent things in the world is that China yesterday did not report any new homegrown cases of CV19. They, however, took drastic steps of locking down an entire city, having people stay in their place. And so that is something that's very different that is going on here. So although that is optimistic, it might not replicate here in the United States. So just be aware. So the next thing I wanted to talk about in the world is there is a lot of news coming out of Italy, and I think this is where we should be looking to what is going to happen here. They are really saying, even though the government's not telling you to stay at home, people in Italy are saying be responsible and just go ahead and get home and stay there. They are sounding an alarm. You can find Americans all over the social media saying, listen now, get home, stay there. This is going to be way worse than you thought it was. Actually, Italy wrote 8,000 tickets for people leaving their home. And so last I checked, I believe Italy is on a mandatory lockdown. I haven't heard anything about troops or anything, but the same thing is going on in Spain, where they said, okay, we're going to give you a ticket if you're leaving the home. I expect that soon will be changed to a mandatory lockdown. California, we can go back to the states for a minute. They are also doing mandatory lockdowns. So if we are reporting the news and we're looking at the full picture here, we really want to be proactive and just get ahead of this, which if you want to get ahead of it, let's look to the international news, which the international news is telling us shelter in place and quarantine yourself if you've been exposed, but really try to stay at home and not be getting around other people. So my name is Lucas Barfield. This is the first CV19 report. Today is March 20th, 2020, and I hope everyone will be doing okay out there, and we will see you next time.